والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم. أما بعد، أحييكم بتحية الإسلام وتحية الإسلام السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So today, inshallah, we are going to abord one of the main subjects in Islam, which is the education. So the education is the main key for success for the parent and for the kids. Everybody know that we live in a world, it's full of diversity and full of uncertainty. So a few months back, some youth, they commit suicide. And everybody questioned what makes a Muslim youth commit suicide. So I was trying to go back and understand. So I found out that there is 4 options. One is the parent, they don't have connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they didn't educate their kids to have that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2 is that the kids themselves, they don't have a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and with their religion. Number 3 option is that neither the parent, neither the kids, they have a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 4 is both they have connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they don't have connection together. The parent, the connection between the parent and the kids, it's almost zero. The parent, they fed the kids, they take them to school, but there is no interaction. So for this, I come up with this presentation so we can put the parent and the kids on the same page. So the parent will know exactly what is the expectation from the kids, and the kids also, they know the expectation from the parent. So I started with this. Parenting is an honor. Having a kids, it's blessing and honor for the parent. And the same thing. The kids, they have a parent, it's an honor and it's a blessing. Why kids are instructed to make dua for the parent? If you go around the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so most of the instruction is given to the kids to take care of their parent or to make dua for their parent, especially when they are elders. But it's not vice versa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never asked the parent to take care of their kids, because it's natural. Every dad makes dua for his kids. But did every kid make dua for their parent? It needs an effort. It needs an education. It's like you are pouring the water from up to down or taking the water from down to up. So when pouring the water from up to down is natural, right? But when you need to take the water from down to up, you need a tool to help. That's exactly the relation between the parent and the kids. The parent, naturally, without asking them, they will take care of their kids, they will make dua for their kids. But the kids, they need a tool. That tool is the education. You have to educate them how to respect their parent and their grandparent and how they take care of them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Take care of your parent. And your Lord has decreed that you worship not except Him, and to the parent, good treatment. Let's move to the next. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us as a human being. That itself its distinction from his other creatures, the plantation, the animals, anything else. So that's itself an honor for the human being, despite which religion he is in, or despite his color, or despite his language, but it's an honor itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored the human being. So the human being is made out many components. If you see yourself physically, you will see that you have a head where there is a brain is, and you have a heart, and you have a body, and you have a ruh, وَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا. So all these components, they made the same human being, but they are differently fed by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every component is fed differently than the other. So, الإنسان روح وجسد روح يتغذى من الوحي. From where the spirit is going to be fed? From al-wahi. Al-wahi is, in the ulama, there is the al-wahi, al-Quran, and sunnah. So the ruh, your ruh is fed by going back to the Quran and the sunnah and the following of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wal-jasad, the body, is fed from the earth, plantation, meat, anything. And then wal-aql, the brain is fed by the ilm, by the education, by getting knowledge. So I'm here two verses. وَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا, about the human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descend the ruh to the human being. And the other verse, وَاللَّهُ أَنْبَتَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ نَبَاتًا. Allah is أَنْبَتَكُم. It's like bring you back from the earth like a plantation. You are growing up like a plantation. ثُمَّ يُعِيدُكُمْ فِيهَا ثُمَّ وَيُخْرِجُكُمْ إِخْرَاجًا. So we came from the earth, we go back to the earth, and then in the resurrection is from the earth. So the human is a soul, body, and brain. Soul is fed from revelation, body is fed from earth, and brain is fed from the knowledge. That's why when we depart from this earth, the soul go back and the body go down. So in a way or another, it's like marriage and divorce. But in the day of judgment, they will be combined again for the resurrection. So, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. The ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the middle path. Our religion, Islam, is the middle path. Either neither east, neither west, Islam is the best. So, if you go around any ideology that was trying to run the world, you will find them going extreme. And none of this ideology, they were able to satisfy the human being as individual, as families, as community, and in the world. When you just scan the world, what's going on in the world, the poverty is 1/3, the wars is the other 1/3. So where is this ideology that they claim to bring the happiness to the human being? And all this ideology, they try to block the Islam to come and run the world because they know deep down that Islam, that will bring the happiness to the human being. So Islam joins both the material and the spiritual life. Islam doesn't tell you to go and live in a mountain and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And doesn't tell you to go and stay with the communities and without worshiping. So Islam, it gives you the solution for your body and for your spirit. The science relating to religion and lifestyle, it attends to the worldly life the way it does to the afterworld. It holds both the idealism and the realism. So we are not a religion of idealism. And we are not a religion where we go and dig in the material life only. That equilibrium, that balance is, you never find it except in the religion of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the deen of Islam. Seek through that which Allah has given you, the home of the hereafter, and do not forget your share of the world. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيا. Even while you are worshiping, while you are directing your soul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't forget your part of this dunya. You have to put some part in the dunya to survive and to get the happiness. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one of the ahadith said, seek knowledge even in China. So how China at that time to the Arab tribal is far. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is bringing to the mentality of the Arabs that seek the knowledge. We are a community or ummah of seeking the knowledge. So Rasul he wants to project the early community to seek the knowledge. It's not like seek the knowledge within 40 miles or 50 miles. No, even if you go to China to seek knowledge, is okay. The word knowledge is mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and conditionally it extended to all branches of the useful science serving the earth and reform man to assume the duties of the succession of men of earth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us for the purpose to be a Khalifa. And the Khalifa is the one who makes sure that the good on the earth is established. Islam is founded on knowledge, science, reason, research, experiment, and deduction. So Islam is, if you go early to the ulama, so how they deduct that the 5 pillar of Islam, or how they deduct the maqasid al-sharia, protecting the soul, protecting the mal, the wealth, protecting the brain, the aql, protecting the community, no bloodshed between the Muslims and the non-Muslim, looking for the peace, how that. These are maqasid sharia, they are protected in the Quran and the Sunnah. But the deduction is the ulama, they go and read and they deduct some rules from the Quran and the Sunnah. So if you go back to historically wise, is the first thing was revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Surah Iqra. It's not by coincidence. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and want the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be the ummah of reading. Iqra bismi rabbik. Here is the clue. The clue is you are going to read, but with the connection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, having the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's exactly the difference between the knowledge in Islam and the knowledge in the other civilization. They want you to read, they want you to get the education, but without that connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. You see here is 3 to 4 words mentioned. First of all, the link to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, He's the creator. It's a focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created you and created the insan or Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once you read, is going to be generous to you. It means that He will give you more knowledge by the action of reading. الذي علم بالقلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that the qalam, the pen, at the early age where the Arab culture at that time, it was 99% moral, oral culture. You'll find them in the mu'allaqat, in the poetry and the talk, only a moral, oral culture. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that al-qalam, the pen, writing, is one of the instruments of knowledge. So that's why Rasul in one of the expedition, when they jailed the enemy, he trained them with, if you are going to teach my community knowledge, how to write and how to read, I'm going to free you. So that shows you how Muhammad ﷺ was not looking to jail people or not looking to harm even his enemy who came to battle him. He was looking for an upper goal, which is educating the Muslim community. And he's ready to trade that with some knowledgeable people on the other side to teach the Sahaba of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is the first surah, which is Iqra, revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, focusing on the reading. So the next surah, which is Surah Al-Muzammil. These are the first three surah revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of them, they have a main subject. Surah Al-Muzammil is, in the first surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is introducing himself in Surah Al-Alaq to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am your Lord. I am the one who created you. So after the introduction, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he told Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to start worshiping your Lord. Because you cannot go and do something without knowledge, right? You cannot go and do a business with somebody unless you know his profile, right? So after knowing who is he, then after that you go to the next and you start the transaction. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Muzammil is asking Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to start worshiping. Ya ayyuha al-muzammil qum al-layla illa qalila. Worship in the night. O you wrapped in your cloth, stand all night in prayer, except a little, pray half the night or a little less or a little more, and recite the Quran. Here is the two main things here. First of all, the prayer. Number two, the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the second surah is instructing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do these two action of worship: the prayer and reading the Quran. The third is Surah Al-Mudaththir. Now you know who is your Lord. You are worshiping him by the night, and you are reading Quran. What is next? The next is you have to do some work. We want to send you for a mission. This mission, Ya ayyuha al-mudaththir, qum fa'andir. Now you know who's your Lord. Now you worshipped him. Now it's time to go around and make the da'wah and call people to Islam. قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك, and your cloth you have to clean it. والرجز فهجر. الرجز is the idols of the Arab idols around the Kaaba. Leave them. So there is something do and something don't do. So why I focus here on the mission? Arise and warn all. That's the next. قم فأنذر. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, stand. Is not you, if you are going to have a heavy mission, you are not going to sleep, you are not going to take a rest, you are going to be strong. There are some heavy things which is presenting Islam to the community around you. It's not something that you take it light. قم فأنذر. قم, like when you say إقامة الصلاة, it means that focus on the salah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to قم فأنذر. Go and warn the people, and glorify your Lord, and purify your garment, and stay away from the idols. So now we go back to the human, and we try to picture like I told you before, is you have the heart has to be fed, you have the brain has to be fed, you have your body has to be fed. So we'll go slide by slide, we'll explain this, inshallah. So the spiritual dimension is the top. I think if you see me here, I'm having spiritual and all this. This is my way of believing that the spiritual is the top, which is the connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in the right way, it might affect all the other part of life in a way or another. So, al-janib al-ruhi, which is al-qalb, the spiritual is how you feed your spirit, you feed your qalb. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله. If you are a mu'min, just by making dhikr, you will get the happiness. تطمئن, your heart will be تطمئن, it will be satisfied. بذكر الله. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. And the other act of worship that will feed the heart is as-salat, dhikr, qira'at al-Quran, ad-du'a. These are the main things that make your heart strong. So this is the spiritual dimension. Let's move to the cognition dimension, which is the education nowadays, which is the math, the science, the chemistry, the physics, anything related to education. This is a mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and the senses. الجانب التربوي والتعليمي إنما العلم بالتعلم. The hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إنما العلم بالتعلم. You want to have knowledge, you have to go to school. It's not you are sitting somewhere and the knowledge will come to you. You have to make an effort to it. إنما العلم بالتعلم وإنما الحلم بالتحلم. So you have to go through a process in order to get the knowledge. إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already equipped us as a human being with the tools of getting the knowledge. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the smelling, the hands, you're right. All these are tools to get knowledge. لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين لا يبصرون بها. So everybody has heart, everybody has hand, everybody has أعين, has eyes, everybody has ears. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the people who have these tools and they are misusing them or are not using them in the right way is kal an'am. It's like the animals. The animals also, they have ears, they have eyes, they have all these tools. But what differentiates between the animals and the human being if they don't use these tools to get the knowledge and to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and the knowledge, why we acquire this knowledge. And if you go around the world, you find from China to Hawaii, they teach the math, right? They teach the science. Why? Because this that makes the human being connect together. If I say 2 + 2 = 4, and you say 2 + 2 = 6, and he says 2 + 2 = 16, so who's right, who's wrong, right? So the education brings some common sense between the human being to have some references, right? To have some references. If the city will make the red line, you stop, and the green light, you move, and I come and tell them, no, In my knowledge, it's the other way around. So why they make these rules, why they educate the kids, why they educate the parent, why we go to school, to create some common sense in the society that at least we have something to start with, right? So at least we have some baseline where everybody can start from. So, al-kitab al-mastur wal-kitab al-mandur. What I mean by that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the Quran, right? And the ulama, they said there is al-Quran, al-kitab al-mastur, the one that, the Masjid, and al-kitab al-mandur, the universe. So the universe also is a Quran. Quran is read. You can read the Masjid, and you can read the universe. You can read the moon. You can read the sun. You can read the trees. This is the universe given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the human being for a reason. So we can ponder around. And while you read in the Quran, the Quran itself says, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. When you see the moon, he said, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. You are reading it in the Masjid, but you are looking at the moon, right? Or the trees. Oh Allah, you didn't create this for nothing. There is a reason, and there is a hikmah, and there is a wisdom. So Al-Quran it's a book. In the Quran, in the Masjid, you find verses to talk about the nature. And if you go to the nature, you will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is a matching. So in one of the hadith, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, al-mar'u ibn bay'atih, which means that we are human. We socialize together. Kids, they can make friends, right? Parents, they can socialize, they can make friends. So the question is that the environment itself, you live with it. You are going to interact with the environment around you, the human being and the nature and everything. It's going to affect you, you like it or not. You see it or not, it's going to affect you. So, Rasul in the hadith said, يُولَدُ الْمَرْءُ عَلَى الْفِطْرَةِ وَأَبَوَاهُ يُهَوِّدَانَ أَوْ يُنَصِّرَانِ. Every human being, when he's a baby, is a Muslim. Al-Fitra, it means Islam. Al-Fitra, it means that he knows Allah by default. But the environment around, the parent, will make him a Muslim or no Muslim, right? So it's like you go to Africa, somebody from Canada, he goes to Africa, and he bring a kid at the age of 3 months, and he live with him in Canada, in Toronto. Do you think that kid will end up speaking the language of his parent in Africa or speaking the language of Toronto? Right? It's the environment where he is living, who is taking care of him, which school he go. They are the one that impact his way of reading, his way of speaking, his way of thinking, and his God who is worshiping. So we like it or not. That's why the focus of the education, يولد المرء على الفطرة. First of all, he's a Muslim. Then it's up to you as a parent to maintain that Islam or to let it go. And you see here, we are Muslim, we are a minority, and we live in an ocean of ideologies and religions around us. I see it myself that in my community, some people, when they are age of 6 to 15, they come with their parents because they don't have any other way of going somewhere else. When they become 16 and their parents buy them a car, or they get a car, or they start getting a job, they are lost. You don't see them in a prayer anymore. They don't come to the masjid. And when you ask about them, unfortunately, some of them not only they left the prayer and they left the masjid, also they went to the other side of the world, which is the drugs and the other kind of wrong things. So why? Because he finds another environment other than his parent environment. So the parent, while you are teaching your kids Islam, while you are taking care of them, also you have to project one day when they will not be with you, how you are going to handle that. So if the foundation is very good, if they were having interaction with the parent and they teach them and they take any advantage, any question from them and they answer them, even between quotes, even if they go stray for a year or two, they will come back. But if the foundation is not good, you might lose your kids. I remember, as a parent, you have to be smart how to catch the question of the kid to educate them. I remember my little son, 6 years back, I was driving him to school, and from nowhere, he asked me this question. He told me, Baba, Allah is rich? I told him, yes, Allah is rich. Then I said, what makes you ask this question? He said, because he has many houses. So he heard the house of Allah. Whenever he goes, he says, the house of Allah. The masjid is the house of Allah, right? So in his mind, that Allah has many houses, which is true. That's why he is rich. Because anybody, any human who has many houses is rich, right? He made that connection. So I told him, yes, that's right. Allah is rich, and Allah has many houses, and Allah has skies, and has sun, and has everything. He's the one who created everything. He created you, he created me. I took that advantage to empower him with a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a child is born on fitrah. We are following our fathers. This is another issue in the fitrah, in the environment. So the environment can be negative and can be positive. So the way is positive is you, if you are involved in directing that environment for the mission that Allah given to you. But there are some people, if you go to the Quran, if you go to Surah Ibrahim and the Anbiya, when the Anbiya came to the people and they told them worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they said, wait. We worship what our fathers worshipped, right? They got used to that environment of worshiping idols. They don't want to get rid of it. So the environment, they are stuck to the old environment, and they don't want to move. So they said, وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهَا أَبَاءَنَا. Right? We find our fathers worshipping idols, we never change. So this comes through education, which means that if you see wrong things in the community, you have to educate the people that this is wrong. You have to put an effort, especially when it comes to the Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi al Munkar. But there are wiser ways how to change the munkar. So, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يفرغنا ويملينا. الصحابة عليهم رضوان الله عليهم. Abu Bakr Siddiq, he used to say, الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, he used to empty us and fill us. It's like a cup. You are emptying it from something and filling it with something else. That's the role of the education. The role of the education and the teachers and the instructors and the parents is to figure out what is wrong with the kid. So you pull it out You extract it and you fill them with something that is beneficial for them. So, as-Sahaba, they lived the time of the Jahili and they lived the time of being a Muslim, right? So, Rasul ﷺ, he was emptying them from the Jahiliyyah, from the ignorance time, telling them that one, it's a past. Now you are a Muslim, you should move to this new spectrum of life, new rules, new connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, new brotherhood. They used to even fight. Two tribal, Dahis wal Ghabra, in the Arab, they were fighting for 40 years. And guess what? These Dahis wal Ghabra, they become Muslim, they become the Muhajirin al-Ansar. See how Islam transformed people? So it transformed the people who were enemy to become a friend, to become brothers. That's the education of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let's move on. So the body. Yes, we are Muslim. We want the connection as a parent and as kids with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We want to educate our kids to be mathematicians, scientists, pharmacists, doctors, physicists, whatever. But what is the good about if you are a doctor, but you yourself you are sick, or you never practice sport in your life? So the parents, they have to look at that. Especially as a Muslim, we live in a world where they judge you by the look, right? It's wrong, but we have to consider that. If you want to give a good presentation about Islam, sometimes you have to go and adapt some of the culture of the land you live in. You have to try to be nice, you have to try to be polite, you have to try to dress well, you have to try to, to fit in. Nowadays they limit to fit in. Nobody's asking you to change your religion. Nobody is asking you to, but we're asking you to give and add value. When you are sportive, when you have a nice dress, when you talk politely, people will consider that. That's the front end. That's your front end. Then after that, they start looking how you think, what you say about this, what you say about this. So as a Muslim, we should go 360 degree. Because what you are trying to bring to the society around you is to save them, is to make them love Islam, admire Islam, by having you the first front end. So when they talk to you, when they look to you, they will be happy. So never underestimate the role of the sport activities in the individual or in the community. And the good news is, as ICI, we crafted this design that, alhamdulillah, wherever your hobby is, you are welcome to. You want to play cricket, soccer, basketball, badminton, volleyball, table tennis, walking, running, we welcome everybody. It's by design. We want you to fit in. We want you to be sportive. We want you to be happy. We want you to deliver that to your kids so they can practice sport, they can practice. And one day, inshallah, we'll reach a level where we compete, where we'll have somebody in the NBA, where we'll have somebody in NFL, where we'll have, why not? It's a collective work, it's a collective effort, but at the end, we should have a target. Nowadays, if you have somebody in the NBA and he say a few words about Muslim, it makes a big difference. And you see Salah or Mahrez, when they played soccer, world soccer, just by scoring a goal, he go and make sajda, right? So when he makes sajda, people question what he's doing. oh, that's the worship, the main worship is praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. So it's all connected. It's a da'wah, it's a sport, it's a social life. So respect the hobbies, sport and entertainment. أشغلوها في الخير قبل أن تشتغل في الشر. This is a saying of Umar bin Khattab رضي الله عنه. He said that we live in a world that if you as a parent, you don't design some programs or the community leaders for the kids, don't worry. The kids, they have free time. They go to the internet. They go to their mobile, and they play forever, right? So the distraction is already there. How you wanna defeat the distraction that is given to them and it's pushed to them by the media is not to tell them, hey, it's haram to not do it's haram, or stay away from it, or go and read Quran. All these instructions are good, but make sure that if you don't give them an alternative, a program that takes some of their time, they will not accept you as a dad. They will tell you, everybody is playing, why not us, right? So you have to balance. You have to balance the life and the schedule of your kids. So Umar bin Khattab, if you want to write, if you bring all the writers of the world about the psychology, and they wrote volumes and volumes, they will not match one phrase from Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu. He said, أشغلوها في الخير قبل أن تشتغل في الشر. We are human. If you don't use them in the khair, they will be used in the shar, in the wrong way. Easy as simple. Easy as simple. It's experience-wise. It's go to any high-level teacher in university who will tell you that. So, نعمتان, الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم in the hadith said, نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس. You know this hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with two things, الصحة والفراغ. You are good health and you have free time. So, these are ni'matan, these are blessings. So what does it mean? You have to maintain this. You have to work hard to maintain them. So, مغبون فيما, there are many people, they don't have it, and they wish they have it. They have صحة to run, or to bicycle, or to swim, or to play. They don't have that health. And there are some people, they don't have time. They are working from 6 to midnight just to bring the bread to their families. But you have a time, allocate some time for this to create some balance in you and in your kids. There is a saying, الجسم السليم في العقل السليم. Sound body in sound mind. Everybody knows that, right? So the social dimension. So there are some action in life, they are individual, some action or some programs, they are collective. There is a reason why the Salat al-Jama'ah itself, it's a must, because it creates a socialization between the Muslim, so people care about each other. If there is a poor, they will help him. If there's somebody who wants to get married, they'll try to find a match for him. If somebody is orphan, they try to help him. So socialization in Islam is nature. The human being is by nature is a social individual. So he look for somebody, he look for a friend, he look for somebody to play with, he look for, so put your kid. I noticed that when I was doing the camp of the kids. Remember, right? So I have kids from all diversity of our masjid. Within the third, fourth day, I find A Sudani kid is playing with, even after the program, Sudani is playing outside with a Pakistani, right? An Indian with a Somali. So I said to myself, Subhanallah, this is just a gathering of 1 month or 2 months. The first week, I figured out that. So they already start socializing. By nature, they will find something in common between themselves, and they socialize, and they make friends. And then they go to their parent, I have a friend. I want to invite him for my birthday. So that's how it works. That's how it works. So the social life in Islam is one of the pillars to bring the Muslim together and to help the Muslim solve the problem of the Muslims around them. So human by nature is social. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Our deen didn't instruct us to just have iman and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It tells you وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. You have to do good deeds. Good deeds to whom? To human being around you, right? It means what? It means you have to connect to them. You have to talk to them. You have to sit with them. So in order to figure out what's their need, then you عَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. The poor, you help him. The janazah, you go and you follow the janazah. The dua. So these are some action of socializing. Have faith and do righteous deeds. I'ana, help. Compassion. Rahmah, mercy. Al-ikha, being brothers. Al-ta'awun, help each other. Ziyarat al-murda, you go and you visit the sick. I'anat al-faqir, helping the poor. Ittiba' al-janaiz, you go to the janazah. So these are, it creates some empathy, it creates some brotherhood, it creates people care about each other. So that's the social life. And as an institution, that's why sometimes we do picnics, we do barbecue community, we do bazaars, community breakfast. All this is to create that social connection between us. So we are all brothers. Even the Pakistani, they sit together outside, and the Somali together, whatever. But at the end is, we are brothers. Everybody knows that they are not sitting by themselves because they don't like me, because they have the same culture, they joke together, so they say something. So, but at the end, the Masjid combine us as brothers, as followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So let's move on. So this is the last, which is I just put the slide that the body is going to, how you feel the body is with the sport. Al-aql, which is the brain, you feed with qira'ah, with pondering and reading. And al-nafs, mujahadat al-nafs, you have to make an effort. And al-qalb, which is dhikrullah, al-hubb, qira'at al-Qur'an, al-salat. And the ruh, which is your spirit, also you have to feed it. So before I don't know what time is. Is it time for adhan or not yet? What time is? 45? Let me see. Oh, okay. Almost 9:30. So we still have some, if you have any question, welcome. I'm here to answer your question, inshallah.
But just a sound body in a sound mind, or a sound mind in a sound body? I'm just like...
Wallahi, myself, I don't know.
Sound body in a sound mind.
Yeah.
That was written there.
Al-aql, maybe I translated from the Arabic. I wrote it from the right to the left. But the main is that all component has to be fed in a balanced way. So you cannot have, you cannot be like a doctor but in the same time, you don't have a connection with Allah. Anybody who seeks knowledge, normally that knowledge will lead him to knowing who's the creator, and vice versa. So, any other question? Bismillah.
Any suggestions on motivating the children to read Quran? A lot of children, they don't like to read anything. So, do you have any suggestions on how to motivate them?
I think the best role model is the dad for the kids. The kids, scientifically wise, it's proven that if you give instruction to the kids to do something and you yourself you are not doing it, so it's not going nowhere. So the kids, they have to, if you tell them read the Quran, the dad himself in front of them, he should read the Quran. If you tell them anything, so you have to be the first one to do this action or to not do this action in front of them. So once you give them that role model, so my theory is the kids, everyone is saying, this is my kid. This Bilal is 21. He's my son. But since 15 years, I'm friend with him. 16 years, I become friend with him. So your kids, you own them only from 5 to 15. This is America. Any foundation within 5 to 15, you put effort in that, with a dua, Allah will protect them. After 15, you cannot push. You cannot push. So you have to relax, you have to release. So if they have a good foundation, they will take it. If they don't have good foundation, the environment will impact them. So you are the first impactor to your kids. So wherever the kids, they learn from their parents at the early age, either reading or sport or reading Quran or praying at time or saying a good word or being clean, anything. So you are the first impactor, the parent, the first impactor to the kids. You remember that you do the effort and somebody else is doing the opposite effort on your kids, right? So nowadays is the cell phone, you can take it as a friend and you can take it as enemy, right? So you have to watch out. That's why we come back to the saying of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, أشغلوهم في الخير قبل أن يشتغلوا في الشر. Make programs for them, make them busy with something good. Give them little bit time, free time for themselves. Otherwise, if it's upside down, they will misuse it and somebody will impact them and then it will be late. I remember Sheikh Mujahid, one day, a dad, he came to him and he told him, oh, Sheikh Mujahid, my girl, she ran away with her boyfriend, Christian boyfriend. So Sheikh Mujahid, he told him, how old is your girl? He told him, 16 years old. He told him, you lost your girl when she was 3 years old. So when she was 3 years old, you don't take her to the masjid. You don't read Quran. You don't put her in Quran programs. You don't take her to the Muslim family to learn around. And now at 16, you are asking this question. It's too late. So you have to put the right effort at the right time. If you put the right effort in the wrong time, it's too late. Next. Any question? The kids? we are going to the fall and the school is going to start. We are trying to revisit the programs based on the school, and we'll put some programs for sure. Either the weekend, mostly we might focus on the weekend because right now we are heading to the winter, and the winter, the day is short, and when the kids come back from the school, they don't have time. They might go to do their homework and but we'll push everything to the weekend, either basketball or soccer or something like that. So we'll let you know. We'll let you know, inshallah. So we are in a redesign mood right now. Sheikh Adam. Allah يخليك. تفضل. Yes, brother. Oh, guess what? Everything up is that's just the summary, but everything up is the explanation of that. So I put English and the ayat and the ahadith in English, and if you like, I can give you the presentation.
And this presentation will be uploaded to the ICA website?
It's already live. It's already live. Yeah. Yeah. So I was reading a book about the statistical of the people in the Western world that they commit suicide, and especially at the army. So it's huge. So you might question why. Simply is the secular education. The secular education, it kind of, it put Allah on the side. Don't talk about your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when the education itself didn't provide the heart and the brain with a connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the education, it becomes like a dry education, right? You might get scientist, but he's atheist, right? So, and then that will not bring happiness to the people. They try to seek happiness here and here and here, and then they are lost. At the end, they decide to put end to their life. So that's why when you go back to Islamic civilization, is the first layer is the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know who created the world. You know your mission up front. You know your worship, the ibadat. In Islam, there is two. There is the ibadat and there is the mu'amalat. So the ibadat is the salat, the sawm, the hajj. But the mu'amalat is the 90% of the transaction and the social life and the interaction. Islam is not a theory. Islam is a theory and practice. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. You cannot just say, I'm having faith, without your faith will be seen in the society. And vice versa. The atheism, I tell you, I'm a good man. I'm doing good. I'm helping the needy sometimes. But at the same time, they don't have iman. They don't have faith. They don't recognize the Lord. They don't recognize the Creator. So they are missing something. So Islam is that combine and make you live your material life, but your connection is in the hereafter. So they said, if you go and ask somebody right now, you tell him what you want to be in the future, right? He'll tell you, I want to be a scientist or physicist or. Islam takes you to the utmost future. It's not the future, the utmost future. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. Al-akhirah, the last, خَيْرٌ لَكَ is better for you than the ula, than this dunya. It means it connects you to the akhirah. Once you take care of your akhirah, everything will come in picture. There is a teacher. She asked the kids to draw a picture of spring. You know the spring, Rabi', right? So all the kids, they draw trees and flowers, and one of the girls, she drew al-Masjid, the Quran. So when they returned their paper, the teacher, she didn't figure out, and she asked the girl the next day, we asked you to draw the spring, and you draw the Quran, you draw this. She doesn't know even what is it. So the girl, she told the teacher, my mom told me, your spring is the Quran, is the Masjid. You want to be happy? You want to have roses around you? Is the Quran. So the little girl, she drew the Quran while she is thinking that the Quran is her spring. And then that teacher, she was amazed by her answer. So you have to, as a Muslim, we have to educate our kids to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to love Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to practice and to take care of their sport life, social life, in a balanced way. I think it's time for the adhan. Yeah, go ahead. Bismillah. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خير. You want to make adhan?